First little question, Wolfgang, is tell us a little bit about your latest book and why did you write it?
It's very interesting. I was talking to a friend of mine, I'm going to actually mention his name, Robin Boltman, who was the magician on the Oceanus when it sank.
Wow.
And he was the last chap off the bridge. The captain was the first off. And then he ended up on the Achille Laura when it caught alight as well. I'm like, man, don't make this a hat trick. Anyway, he wrote a book about it, and it's been out for a while. And then about 6-7 months ago, he asked me to just help him, update the book, new pictures, set it out, and put it through the publishing company. So I assisted him with it, and it was such fun reading his story. I mean, I've never been one that wanted to do an autobiography or anything, and I went, okay, damn, let me maybe do something about my life, but make it a bit more interesting. So, of course, I've also felt that being too nice these days doesn't get you anywhere, but being too politically incorrect also stirs a bit. So I thought, look, I'm just going to, first of all, choose a title that's going to grab people's attention. So the title is, I Was Born in Apartheid South Africa. What's your excuse?
Excellent.
Yeah. So first, and I mean, most people are going to take it and think it's a black guy writing. So they're first of all going to be surprised it's a white guy. And it's trying to bring the thing across of stop all the racial nonsense. We're all the same. And don't judge me by the color of my skin, because just because I'm a Caucasian doesn't mean I had a wealthy upbringing. And I go into my fact, my parents were refugees from the World War, and that we started with nothing. I mean, I used my hobby to buy my own bicycle. And I just go, but hang on, let's get over the nonsense. And at the end of the day, the book is all about, it doesn't matter who you are. If you've got the determination, the drive, you will make a success. Just stop blaming everybody else.
Well, you did what I expected from you, sir. You answered the first two questions, and I only had to ask the first question. Fantastic, because the second question is, what is the key theme? And your key theme is spot on there. Stop making excuses, get on with it. Would that be right?
Yeah, because, I mean, the world at the moment, I mean, if I think of this, I mean, everybody gets offended by everything, and it's, to be quite blunt, it's pissing me off now. Life and grow up and wake up. And so the book is written, it's a motivational book. So, I mean, I use every chapter, how I started on the streets of, being brought up in South Africa, going to England with a South African accent, being looked down upon and considered a racist because I'm there, how I had to struggle to actually get somewhere. And I mean, I bring in a bit of the politics, but it's not about that. It's about, hang on, a guy that had nothing actually managed to see the world, make a success of his life, etc., etc. And then I touch on a bit of the racial issues as well, just to maybe antagonize a bit, but also I think you need a bit of spark in the book to make people realize, but hang on, maybe I have a chip on my shoulder, I should come right and not concentrate on all the nonsense out there, get on with my own life.
Brilliant.
Believe in myself for a change.
You're building up that polarity so that people can actually create the vibration, yet propel themselves up higher. So the next question is, for those people that are sitting there thinking about writing a book or procrastinating about writing a book, what advice would you give to people that are aspiring authors?
Well, okay, if I'm honest, I started 2 books at once. Actually, no, it was 3. There was a smaller one as well. And because I find just concentrating on one thing, sometimes it's a bit too much stress. Even if you say, I'm going to spend an hour a day, so I've got to get the inspiration as well. And I'm not a procrastinator, so that inspiration has got to be there regularly. But I find that by doing 2 or 3 things, it gives me time to think more. If you're writing something else, a completely different topic, your mind gets a chance to freshen up, and then you look forward to getting back to the other topics. So I did something on financial savvy for entertainers. Was the other thing, was 2 completely different things. And I think that helps when you write. But of course, if you are disciplined, you're going to set yourself time aside every day. But then, as I say, you get stale very quickly. And by having 2 different things, if you alternate, I just find the motivation stays there and the drive.
Well, I guess I'm going to distill that down a little bit, Wolfgang, is first of all, start writing. Second of all, you can be writing about multiple topics. That's fine. You can have different envelopes to actually start capturing some of your thoughts that you've written. And the key is to just get going with it, right? It's stop yourself from stopping yourself.
And especially for beginners, I find, it's easy to find excuses. And the great excuse, of course, is, oh, well, the grammar, I'm not a writer. And if there's a spelling error, and I'm like, come on. I mean, my first book, which is now become a huge bestseller, it had mistakes in it for how long? I got the professional editors and that I paid a fortune and they still didn't get it right. And now with printing on demand, for goodness sake, you print 200 copies. You know what I do? When I start a book, I print 20 copies because you can do that. I give it to all my mates. I say, read it. Any mistakes, just highlight with a highlighter. Give it back to me. I correct it. I've got the master copy. Boom, it's done. If I printed out a print and then somewhere along the line I found a mistake, damn, man, it's easy to fix. Saves me a lot of time, saves me a lot of stress, and I can focus on getting the book written. I'd rather get the message out there and there's 4 mistakes in the book. You know what? Live with it. Come on. Is the world going to end because I got a bloody spelling mistake in the book? Grow up, man.
All right. I love it, Wolfgang. I love where you're at right now. And the next question is, if I can assist you in the next 6 months to get this latest book into somebody's hands around the world, who would you actually like to have it in their hands and reading it?
I think most of the people that have got this political chip on their shoulder and about
give me 2 or 3 names.
Huh?
Give me 2 or 3 names.
Or religious backgrounds they're from, because at the end of the day, I think I've told you, I've done my own quotes and come up with my own quotes. And I saw this old quote, can't remember who did it. It says, if you respect me, I'll respect you back. And that's unfortunately the problem with the world, because people expect. And my version of that quote is, I will always respect you first. What you do with that respect determines our relationship move forward. Now, to me, that's a way more humble and authentic approach to life. And that's not a chip on the shoulder approach, because I don't care who you are, where you come from. We can all learn from each other. We're all human beings. Let's get on with it. Beautiful. So I think the people that have got those kind of internal issues and haven't dealt with that, you should maybe read my book, because I might just be able to give you a more loving insight to life.
Well,
teach you about contentment.
I'm still going to ask you, when you listen to the video after, who would you actually like this book to be read by? And I think that's something that we can discuss maybe in an afterthought also. My next question, which is actually, first of all, I want to let anyone know that if they like this video and they like this type of banter, Wolfgang and I have really enjoyed collaborating over the years. This is going to be on Continual Shift on YouTube. Please, if you find this, share it with friends. It's a great way to reach out to Wolfgang and myself. Wolfgang, how can people get a copy of your book?
Well, it'll be on it's not published yet. It's going to take about a month or 2 still. It'll be on my website, wolfgangriebe.com.
Excellent.
So surname.com, yeah.
Fantastic. So
amongst all the other books.
Well, you've got what, about 11 now?
35
books, folks. So this is definitely somebody who's written a lot. He speaks from experience, and that's usually where he speaks from. And he's also interested in helping other people get their experiences. So,
I think that's it. I think you just said that. It's about, just let's all make this place a better place. Let's help each other.
And the bonus question is, has there been a book that you've read this year that had a magic moment for you? Maybe a book or a movie or a song, anything that really popped for you this year?
The Way of the Peaceful Warrior.
Excellent.
And it just reminded me of just being and being content with what you have. And I think that's maybe the biggest lesson. I think people have also learned that with the COVID-19, being not able to go out and starting to live with each other. I mean, I'm happy in my space. I'm completely content.
Any last little comment or word that you want people to think of when they think about you?
When they think about me, I'm just a normal guy that followed my dreams. It's not about money, the wealth you have. My logo is memorable, magical moments. One day when you got to say goodbye to this world, how many memorable, magical moments do you have?